presented by Rip Curl. Again, if you're just joining us, we're going to take a look at the numbers here. Look at those scores just to start off the day. Both surfers in the excellent heat range, 16.2, and you're going down. You've got to still be proud of yourself, Kira Pinkerton.
A phenomenal performance by both surfers. Kira, in any other part of the draw, probably would have succeeded.
Well, we got great news. We're back on. The restart has begun, and Heat 2 of the round of 16 has just gotten underway. Two surfers out in the water. Winner goes to the quarterfinals. We have Emrod, Michael Rodrigues out in the red jersey, and the young Phenom from Indonesia. Rio Waida right here in the blue jersey, looking for a ramp way down the line. What's he got? There he goes. And the explosion catches him.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a Hail Mary. And I think that was brought on by the fact that he had to get so deep. You wouldn't very often get the inside positioning on Michael Rodrigues in a heat. Rio was so deep on that one that he didn't have the luxury of having a corner to start wrapping on, and he had to get his speed up early, and then at some point he went, well, I'm just going for it.
Well, let's see if Emrod, Michael Rodrigues, sticks to a similar strategy that we saw Brody Sale being successful with, in that Emrod now has priority, and he can wait through that wave as he let this one go. And you can just see, you can project already that Rio was thinking air.
Yeah, you called it early. When I saw this heat, I just went, this is going to be a show. This is one of the heats of the day, absolutely for sure. I did make a call, I've made it over the last 2 or 3 days, that this guy here, Michael Rodrigues, is going to be hard to beat in this tournament. You're going to have to put on a surfing clinic to beat this guy.
Stroking furiously into that wave, and now hammering it on the backhand. And he likes the start. Right behind him, Waida, Rio. A couple of beautiful arcs on the backhand to answer, and he completes his ride as well. So we got a heat on our hands.
Oh, wow, that was a short, sharp response by Rio. Both great rides, and Rio just has that slight advantage paddling through the impact zone. Michael he got totally caught up there paddling through that second wave. I think he lost his board. Nice snap there to start with. This is the money move, and he finishes it 3 big moves. He's happy with that start. I like this one too, Kaipo.
Yeah, I guess he gets some great extension out of that first turn, and then vertical finish.
Yeah, high degree of difficulty on that finish. Gets the break on the way out, regains priority. So it didn't go with 1-2. Michael Rodrigues got caught inside by a little 2-footer. It was weird. There was 2 little quick ones. He's still paddling out.
It happens. Sometimes a little double ups will surprise you and pull you back.
They knock you around.
And so Michael Rodrigues, 27 years old. He would be the veteran in this matchup. He spent a couple years on the championship tour. Had a brilliant debut on his rookie season 2018 over at Snapper, where he made the quarterfinals first time on a CT.
When first time I saw him was that year, I said, oh, wow, here comes another one.
Yes, right. And his best result on the championship tour, he had a semifinal finish in 2019 at the Corona Bali Protected. But we've always been a fan of Emrod's lightning fast surfing.
Yeah, and he's shown particularly sharp form here at Manly throughout this week, every heat he's had.
Yeah, he's got that Lost Surfboards light speed technology, those epoxy with like a carbon reinforcement to give it some spring to it. And he's one of those surfers that on that technology and on that construction, it enhances the natural spring that Emrod already has. He already is a very springy surfer. You put him on a light springy surfboard, and it's just like a trampoline for this guy.
Yeah, and he does have that natural spring. He's got such a solid bottom turn. You just know that it's so compact, and you know that as he comes out the top, you could bank on him.
Yeah. Also, Rio Waida out there, the 22-year-old, and a surfer that has you know, really representing his home country of Indonesia, bringing some world-class performances. He's won a QS this year, the Vans Bali Pro earlier. He also, last year, got a wild card into the Corona Open Mexico, where he had a 9th place finish and took down some big names. So he's got a bright future, Rio Waida.
Well, there's that exchange in now. So Michael Rodrigues gets the excellent score, the 817. Rio gets the 717. Probably just basically on volume. It's a 3-2 decision. three big moves by Rodrigues versus 2. I think Rio's second one move was a bit stronger than Michael's third move.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's how they split that one.
But it was important for Rio to get on that wave behind Michael Rodrigues, because what he did was he didn't let Emrod get away from him. So it's still very close here. Here he is again now, going right, little tail release there. Doesn't like the feeling of that turn, so he cuts it short and heads back out.
Yeah, I mean, there's several really critical times in a heat along the way. You get these flash points within the heat. So I really feel we're at one right now, because Rio's got priority. The use of this priority, for a while there, they were split. They made their decisions. You know, you can see it again. They're both going fishing. Rio's kind of going where we would call a bit more of a honeypot, where that left-hander has been. But Michael has obviously seen something down the line. He's got second priority as well. Yeah,
Michael on the right hand of your screen in that red jersey, and he's moving to a different position on the bank. Just wants to get away from Rio Waida, who's holding priority right now. And I think that's a smart move, because if you're under priority, you may as well, like you said, Bugs, just go fishing, scour the lineup, and see if you can pick off something a little further down the line.
You know, I mean, having said that, in that last exchange, there was 2 left-handers coming on that bank, on that sort of consistent bank. So they were back-to-back. Down the beach is a little bit more skitsy in that there's not as many, but there has been a couple of good rights down there. But I mean, Michael's backhand, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't depart too quickly from that. He just got himself an 817, consistent with what he's done throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah, and both of these surfers in the water can bring about some big aerial antics as well. Both of these surfers we've seen in the past in both free surfs and competition are able to launch huge airs. So that could come into play as well in this heat. Don't need to water the plants today. Got some rain coming. It's here.
Yeah, it's here. It's not an unfamiliar sight. Sydney has had a bit of a soaking this past system. This is a different system though. This is a whole new system coming in, which is kind of weird. Back-to-back rain systems. These ones tend not to be sustained though. These ones tend to move through, as opposed to the other one we had these little floating rain bands, these squally things sort of floating in from the ocean. This one's tending to move up the coast and skirt the back of us.
Well, I hope so. I hope that's the case. I hope it's more like an island shower in Hawaii that we get. You know, we have a saying in Hawaii, if you don't like the weather, just wait a half an hour.
Yeah, we get a lot of those in Queensland too. They're just those squally ones. They come through. Then a rainbow. You get a lot of rainbows in Hawaii.
You get rainbows on the Goldie as well.
Yeah, we get a lot of rainbows, especially at Rainbow Bay.
Okay, here he goes, under priority. And that one just walls up for Michael Rodrigues. He's got a 2.93 as a backup to his 8.17. He has a temporary lead over Rio Waida. I say temporary because Waida with priority does not need a giant number to take that lead off of Michael Rodrigues. Just a 3.94.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be fishing for something like that. He's going to have to. He knows what he's up against here. He would have known. He would have looked at the draw. Rio's got his crew that he's working with. They're solid. And I think Matty Myers is in there coaching him at the moment. He's working with Rio and Alyssa Spencer in this tournament. They have a lot of success, and they would know this guy Rodrigues is one of the main obstacles to the quarterfinal.
Hey, let's check in at the Bonzoy athlete area. Stace, what do you got for us?
Nice of him to clear the water for you there, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, the storm looked like it was coming in. I thought I might get 10 minutes, but it just stayed beautiful the whole time. So, quick little free surf on the comp bank.
Very clever. An amazing performance yesterday. How do you carry that consistency into today?
Yeah, it's a hard one. I mean, after those big performances, it's always hard to back up. So, I mean, just try and reset and calm myself, and the waves look super fun, and just do what I can with what I get.
Thanks for your time, Ryan. Best of luck.
Cheers.
Arcal. Yeah, he put on a great showing yesterday. He'll be in Heat 6 of this round against Alex Ribeiro.
Another tough heat. And you get these great insights from these athlete interviews, because what he touched on there and what, Stace touched on was the fact that he's had some just barnstorming performances, particularly yesterday. And from an athlete point of view, the reset's important, because what you don't want to do, and it happens, is that you don't want to have diamonds one day and rocks the next.
Right. Yeah. The consistency, right? And not to kind of have that when you have just a on fire heat, not to have like a heat hangover, if you will, from that on fire heat, and not be able to replicate that performance and that effort, in the heat that's right in front of you, which Ryan's going to have today.
And I think that was a real key, with Kelly, in Kelly Slater's younger years, when he first came on. He'd really got that. He could go out there and replicate excellent performances, heat after heat after heat, without these huge fluctuations in performance.
Speaking of Kelly Slater, right now it's floating around. It's back from G-Land, and Kelly doing a speech over there at the Quicksilver Roxy G-Land Pro, and a runner-up speech. It was 27 years ago, and he alluded to retiring maybe after this back then. And obviously not true at all, but it was just remarkable to see that clip was so long ago, and Kelly's still relevant with this coming into this upcoming championship tour stop.
Well, that is pretty amazing for him to be talking about retirement 27 years ago. But I tell you what, one thing, he did used to get in guys' heads. He'd go, after Bells, or maybe I'll go to the next one.
Well, hey, utilize the art of war, Sun Tzu. It works. Here we go. You know what? We're going to take a Bonsoy brew break. We'll be right back with more action and the back half of this second heat of the round of 16. Looking back at some historic surfing in 1978 right here at Manly Beach, single fin surfing, Bugs.
Yeah, I was here to witness that one, and we were standing up on the foreshore here. I was with Simon Anderson and Al Hunt, a couple of Narrabeen guys, Ronnie Ford from Bondi, and we just were enthralled by the most amazing day out here. And it was barrels, and it does happen, of course. It was a right swell direction. It was a back end. It was on the back side of a big day, and it cleaned right up. And Larry Blair and Wayne Lynch put on a show. Like, I love the way that Kelly was going, wow, they got barrel back then.
Here we go, Rio Waida up and out.
But I think he was relating more to the fact that it was at this beach, and they were like barrels like you'd see somewhere in Hossegor or something.
Sure, and single fins and barrels like that, no problem. I mean, those boards still work. Now, single fins today, he would be much more of a challenge.
Oh my gosh, you would you'd find it hard to compete out there on a single fin against this lot.
Here we go. Emrod swings again. Make it a third time, make it 4 bangs to the lip. Michael Rodrigues looks to the sky. The sun has opened up upon him, and he's got a good backup for that 8.17.
Yeah, I mean, this is the surfing that I really recognised in round 1 and 2. I went, gosh, how'd he beat that? Yeah, he's on fire. Like, look how precise he is. But look at the timing out of the lip. I mean, these huge fans. Just anyone can appreciate that. That is just power surfing, precision,
And I know it has nothing to do with the criteria, but the sun shone as soon as he stood up and the lights went on for Emrod. It's like he's under a spotlight right now. Glowing water and great surfing.
Yeah, but this is why we're not judges, Kaipo. We can't judge on stuff like that. The aesthetics are there, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
But you've just got to go on the action.
But you know what? The judges liked it too.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
9.5 drops for Michael Rodrigues. Emrod puts Rio Waida into a two-wave combination, 13 and a half minutes counting down.
Yep. Well, there you go, 9.5, and this is he is the benchmark performance surfer of this event. I feel.
I would concur with that statement in that he's just been so consistent. Every time he hits the water, he's elevating the surfing. He's just actually, it reminds me sometimes of things that Felipe Toledo does on the championship tour, especially in smaller conditions, where it looks like those surfers are in a whole nother gear from the rest of the competitors.
Oh my gosh, how do you answer that? I mean, Rio's put in, you know, he's done everything right. Well, he did everything right except get that wave. That was it was a good wave as well. It allowed Michael Rodrigues to unleash with the full arsenal he has in his kit bag. And here we see Rio. This is a good looking wave. A bigger wave.
Here we go, Rio. Big hook off the top. Second one, so swings a couple times at the lip. Successful, great timing, great tempo, and an answer back. He's going to reduce that deficit and surf his way right out of that combination right now.
Yeah, well, he needs better than a 7.67 to get himself out of combo. I feel he's done that on that wave.
Yeah,
he's not going to be far out of combo though. He's not going to be in. But this is great surfing. He's only getting two big major maneuvers per wave, but I felt that was stronger than his first. This first turn here, this is a bigger wave, and he is just unleashing full power, confidence. Just goes smoothly into that backhand bottom turn, and again, way up over the lip line, slides the tail, comes down perfectly. It's got to be in the excellent range.
And Michael Rodrigues got a wave as well, Bugs.
Wow. He's not going to let Rio go, you know, let's get the attention back on me. No, that's a throwaway. I mean, he could declare his innings here with that 17.67 total. It's right up there.
Yeah, I mean,
right up there with Katie Simmons.
It's true. And, you know, it's going to be hard for him to improve upon that because he's already got two excellent scores on the board, Michael Rodrigues, but numbers coming through for Rio Waida, and we are going to break that combination, and Rio's going to just need a single wave score to turn this heat as the judges start punching in the digits, and it's a 9-point ride for Rio. So now he needs an 8.68. So he's done his job. He's done his work, Bugs.
What a great heat this is turning into. Rio Waida digs himself out of a seriously comboed situation. Two maneuvers for a 9. You've got to love that.
Love it. Hey, Stace, he's out the back with Dometic, and I wanted to hear the news.
Yeah, well, I think the main reason that first score of Rio, or first 9 of Rio, went so high was the height of the wave and the size of that first turn. That was massive. You could almost hear him coming off the bottom from here as we see Emrod up and riding now. And I really do think now Emrod needs to do no more backside Rios. He has a massive aerial attack. And we saw Rio on his first wave. This is an amazing wave for Rio. I might let you guys call it.
All right, well, Rio Waida on his way. Couple of swings, kicks out, recognizes just that in his head that wave was not the 6.86, so kicks out early and wants to regain priority, Bugs, so that he has another chance.
A massive decision. You know, he looked like he was on his way to something, but, you know, they've set a high bar. And it's that first maneuver, you know, going back to Rio, he knows what he's got to do here. It was a bigger wave, and he just smashed it. Like, his surfing is so on song. You know, he's come up against the guy to beat in this tournament. He's trying to supplant him as being the guy to beat. Michael Rodrigues knows he's got a heater on his hands here too. This last 9 minutes are going to be enthralling, and Rio's not mucking around. He sees something. It's a down-the-line wave. He's going to get 3 big ones in here. Whack. And his surfing is amazing.
All right. He's appealing to the crowd, and the crowd is answering. He's at 8.68. He got a 9 for what I feel was a similar wave, but maybe not. This wave was a little smaller, but this one's going to be on the edge, I think, Bugs.
Wow, this is going to be such an interesting scores. Let's see the replay of this. I mean, obviously, the judges will be having a big deliberation over this one. I don't think they'll throw a score too quick. I love the way he comes around. This is a down-the-line wave. That was a great slick move. Keeps his speed. He's always thinking down the line to that finisher.
Wow. And I love the study, the extension that we're able to see off that first top turn for Rio.
And the finish, just, he times it to come down with the lip, so he wasn't caught up in that. He didn't finish quite as dynamically, probably, as his last ride, but he got 3. This is the first time he's actually got 3 big moves in.
So 3 hooking backhand turns, and the number is going to be right on the edge. Oh my goodness, he needs an 8.68 to turn this heat on Michael Rodrigues, who's been firing this entire competition, and he does it with an 8.8. Rio Waida takes the lead.
This is unbelievable. You would never, ever imagine it. This is the heat of the tournament. By far, there's Matt Myers, there's the crew. They can't believe it. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
This is a sensation. Michael Rodrigues has been bettered by Rio Waida in the heat of the tournament. 7 minutes left. As we talked about earlier, touched on the fact that there's these critical flashpoints in this heat. We just went past one, and we're approaching another one right now because Rodrigues has priority. I kind of feel he's kind of frittered away a little bit. Those last 2 rides were inconsequential. Did he think he was in the safe zone, Kaipo?
Well, I mean, sitting here on the Harvey Norman host set, I actually thought Michael Rodrigues was in a safe zone as well until I saw Rio just flare up under pressure when he needed it. Was in a combination, needed to get 2 scores, and he got those 2 scores. A 9-point ride at 8.8. Michael Rodrigues needs an 8.3. Now, he's already dropped the 9.5, Rodrigues has. So, he knows he can get that number. He's just going to need a special wave.
Oh, look where Rio is. He's right in his wheelhouse. I mean, Michael Rodrigues actually, yeah, he's got to be, Rio's got to be a bit careful here too. Now, I'll tell you one thing from an athlete's point of view, Kaipo, there's a shock value in that.
Oh, well, this has been an absolutely spectacular heat. Here's the Harvey Norman recap, and Emrod swinging away, putting it down, and does it again here. Lightning fast surfing, Bugs.
Yeah, well, here he comes. Here's the 9.5, and this wave looked like it was a clincher. Yeah, he knows it, 9.5, but look at the comeback. A bigger wave. This is the 9. Stace pointed out it was a bigger wave, and it was that smashing first maneuver that set it up.
1-2 for the 9, and it took 3 here to take the lead, Bugs.
And look at, he's just blown the back off this thing so beautifully. The timing was spectacular. As I said, he didn't get caught up in that last lip. He came down with it. And the celebrations, this is mind-blowing. By far the heat of the tournament.
All right, well, now the pressure on the shoulders of Michael Rodrigues. 4 minutes, 35 seconds on the countdown. He's got priority. He needs an excellent score of an 8.3. Takes a look at this one.
Oh, yeah, Rio's on the cell job there. Having a look, Michael's not biting at all. He knows that he's going to have to answer now. And that, see that, first of all, there's the shock value of the situation. Then you settle in to the requirement and what needs to be done. It's going to have to be a bomb. it's going to have to offer him something similar to that 9.5 where he's got the amazing backhand repertoire. He's got to be able to unleash it in these last 4 minutes.
Yes, interesting that there's not very many rights as options right now, Bugs, because on the forehand, Michael Rodrigues has that dynamic full rotation airs that he can do, where he's able to rotate quickly and land and continue into another maneuver. If he's able to do that, he's on his way to an excellent score as well.
Yeah, that's true. He is capable of that. But for him so far, you know, his passage through the tournament, the left has been just the golden ticket for him. You know, it's been the honeypot. He has just gone to it time and time again, and it has paid huge dividends.
Three minutes and a fairly quiet lineup to add pressure to Michael Rodrigues.
It's the ultimate flashpoint of this heat. There's been several. There was that first exchange. Then Rio sat out there waiting. Michael Rodrigues, he got that 9.5 a little bit away from Rio. Rio had that 7.17, sat out there with priority, waiting and waiting. Michael got that one under priority. Then Rio, you know, the surf god smiled upon him because he got that 9, surfed his heart out on that wave, put everything on the line. But that backup score, he didn't muck around. He didn't wait. That appeared, he thought he could do it. It was a down-the-line express. Everything he did was thinking down the line on that wave, but he got massive. He just blew the back out of that wave so fiercely on that first turn.
On the paddle, on the move. Rodrigues looking to identify a wave down to the 2-minute mark. This is when the pressure starts really sinking in.
The one good thing about this is that on the, you know, and this is not unique to Manly or Australia, but on that other side of storms, you often do get those nice conditions returning. We've seen this, so they've got a good canvas to work on.
Line coming, maybe 2. Again, the repositioning. Those two are not hitting the bank adequately for Michael Rodrigues to be able to have an option to get that excellent score.
You know, Rio's bringing some game here. He's bringing some Medina-like game to this situation. He'd want to be careful. Michael Rodrigues, he'd want to be careful that he doesn't get too within his wheelhouse here if a wave comes.
Rio trying to create some confusion for Michael Rodrigues right now in the lineup. Rodrigues looks like he's interested in this one.
Okay, here it is.
This is it. One snap. 2 turns. Waves really tapering off.
It's a fizzer.
Oh no, that's not it.
This is a you know, it's actually really blowing me out. I didn't think Michael Rodrigues could be beaten with that performance.
Myself included. I'm astounded, but I have to congratulate and celebrate Rio Waida because he is a bright star, and Indonesia is proud of him because he's on his way to the quarterfinals right now with a clutch performance and some excellent surfing. Look at the numbers.
The numbers speak the story. This is an amazing victory by Rio Waida as he moves on to the quarterfinals. This is just a massive result. It's more than a result. This is a moment. This is a watershed moment in this young Indonesian surfer's life.
I love it. Well, thank you, Bugs, and I hope you are entertained. Don't go anywhere because we got more great surfing on the way right after this break.